Welcome to Modern Day Masterpiece. I'm joined by my co-host Josh. My name is Caleb. We figured we'd do something special for Valentine's Day coming up soon, and for the very romantic 50 Shades Freed, which we just reviewed. Link below. So we decided... Like and subscribe. We decided we would get into, our favorite romance movies of the decade. I'm not sure if there's that much to choose from, but I knew my 5 almost immediately.
I didn't know my 5 almost immediately, but I had 3 of them.
That's how mine was. I had about 3 of them, then I had to do a little bit of research to get my next 2. Yep. But I found it to be relatively easy because it's not like the strongest genre of film. While it is a very wide, selective genre, there's so many things you could consider romance, but some stuff... it's more obvious.
So as you know, me and Caleb do not know each other's lists.
We do not.
I'm going out on a limb right now, though. I'm going out on a limb. Crazy Stupid Love's your number 1.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away.
You know how close we were on the horror films, except for Tucker and Dale, which is still a horror film. I'm gonna go out on a limb and not predict anything on yours because I literally have no clue. Okay. That's good.
So let's just get into it. Let's not waste too much time here. I'll start.
Okay.
With my number 5.
Sorry.
Number 5 romance movie, this is considered a romantic comedy. Not all these are romantic comedies, just a couple of them are romantic comedies. My number 5 film is Crazy Stupid Love.
Wow.
That's my number 5 film. Crazy Stupid Love stars Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Julianne Moore, Emma Stone, Marissa Tomei, Kevin Bacon. The cast is stacked.
Yeah, it's a very stacked
This is a very good movie. It's lots of twists and turns. And for some reason, the other day I pulled up on YouTube the end of this movie because the end of this movie always gets me.
It's like a wall of just.
It always gets
everything.
me. I don't know if it's the song that's playing over top. There's also a really creepy moment in this. This is slightly spoiler, but the little boy who's Steve Carell's son is in love with the girl who's babysitting him. And at the end,
the stereotypical thing.
And if this movie came out today, that ending they'd have to change that ending because the girl gives him the nudes that she had taken for Steve Carell's character. So she gives the 13-year-old boy. It's like these will hold you over till you get a little bit older. I'm like, oh god, that's so creepy.
That's so
racy for other than the creepiness, it has a really nice ending, mainly due to Steve Carell and Julianne Moore's amazing chemistry together. Yeah. They go through a lot of hardships together.
Not even that too. It's the chemistry with Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling as well.
Oh, that's great. Then you get to Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like everyone meshes so well together.
And then those specific twists. I don't want to give away those twists, but there's 2 specific twists that I'm like, oh god, wow, a romantic comedy was able to do the Shyamalan, Christopher Nolan-esque twist. Wow, kudos to you. But that's my number 5, Crazy Stupid Love. I really enjoyed that movie. I've loved it since the first time I've ever watched it. I've watched it quite a few times. It's a very rewatchable movie. I really like it. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water?
The Shape of Water.
I guess that's a romance.
It is a romance. Wow. Woman falls for a merman.
It's not on my list because I guess I just didn't think about it.
But it's deeper than that. I don't want to. I'm not going to say anything else about the film.
It doesn't hold itself to just romance.
Exactly.
It's a fantasy. It's a multi-genre. It has horror, sci-fi, romance.
The main story is that Sally Hawkins' character falls in love with a merman.
Yeah.
And will do anything to help him.
And it's weird.
And Richard Jenkins and his subplot is all about finding love.
It's about finding love in a time where, with the person that he is, it's sort of it's basically impossible.
Del Toro does amazing directing that and giving it an overall tone. I'm not going to sit here and go on about the movie because
we talked about this movie in our Oscar movie. We praised this movie.
We praised it so much.
We love this movie. It's not on my list because I guess I just didn't. Because it's so multi-genre, I was like, it's just one aspect of the film. Part of it's thriller, part of it's other stuff. So I'm not upset at that.
You can. It's my list.
I know. Moving on, my number 4 movie is a movie that you watched with me a couple years ago, which I'd seen before, but a movie that nobody has seen, or at least it's called Sleeping with Other People. And it stars Alison Brie, Jason Sudeikis, Adam Scott, Jason Mantzoukas, and Amanda Peet. I watched this movie again a couple weeks ago on Netflix.
But I don't remember about that movie.
I love this movie.
When did that come out?
2015. So
we must have watched it.
I'd say out of all of these movies, if you're like, Caleb, sit down and watch one of these, I'm probably going to sit down and watch this. I love it. It starts off with Jason Sudeikis and Alison Brie, they lose their virginity together with each other. Then later on in life, you see that Jason Sudeikis is kind of a dick, and Alison Brie is cheating on her boyfriend because she's in love with her past boyfriend, and she's addicted to love or whatever, and she goes to meetings or whatever, and they both find each other at one of these meetings. They're like, oh, I know you. Yeah, okay. So then they decide to be friends, but they do not hook up. So it's none of this like friends with benefit stuff. Right. They decide specifically that if we have sex, it's going to really ruin things for us. And never once in the movie do they show them have sex. It's literally just their chemistry and their friendship together. And the whole time you're like, they need to have sex. Like they need to. Like you're rooting for it, even though Jason Sudeikis is kind of a jerk. Alison Brie, she's pretty awesome. Actually, she's kind of a good person. But Adam Scott is like such a douchebag in this movie. And we just did our 50 Shades Freed review, and honestly, this movie has a way more intimate and realistic sex scene between two people that I don't want to see have sex.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to want to see the people in 50 Shades have sex, but I don't. In this movie, I don't want to see Adam Scott and Alison Brie have sex because I know that Adam Scott's the bad guy.
Yeah.
But that scene just feels so realistic. I'm like, I feel uncomfortable watching this because I feel like I feel like I'm in the room watching them, and I need to leave, guys. I'm sorry, but it ends pretty unconventional. It has a pretty unconventional ending. That's divisive. Mm-hmm. But I still love this movie a lot, and I wish more people would see it. Sleeping with Other People, please watch it. It's on Netflix. It's an amazing romance movie. It defies the rom-com conventions. It goes completely off the cuff and does really cool stuff with the genre. So, what's your number 4, Josh?
My number 4 is a movie starring Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, known as Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Came out in 2012. Movie about being bipolar, marital failure, and finding love through dancing and football.
That's correct. What's the name of it, Josh?
I said Silver Linings.
Oh, did you? Okay. Sorry.
I so much attention.
I was too busy listening to the football and the bipolar.
The football and the
bipolarness.
Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence are amazing in this movie. Their chemistry is there. It's solid. Not to mention Robert De Niro's in the movie.
Got a big cast. Yeah.
Someone died. It's a big cast. He got nominated for plenty of Oscars.
Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress.
It was nominated for the Big Four, wasn't it? Big Five in Oscars?
I guess that would be considered the Big Five.
Yeah, the Big Five is...
It probably even got
You got screenplay, too.
It probably got a director and screenplay nod, so about 7. Yeah. That's...
Sure. Yep.
My number 3 is The Big Sick.
Number 3 is also The Big Sick.
There we go. We can share this one together. Yep. The Big Sick is an incredible, like I've said before in our Oscar video, I would recommend this movie to anybody.
Yep.
Really lighthearted, but still dealing with a very serious matter. But I like that.
It actually deals with a lot of serious matters.
It deals with 2 specific serious matters,
yes.
Or maybe even 3. Camille Nanjiani, his ex-girlfriend, has to get put into a medically induced coma.
Yep.
She could die. So he has to hang out with her family. Never met them before. So you deal with getting to know someone's family that you've never met before.
The family, by the way, is Ray Romano.
Ray Romano and Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter, who got robbed for an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, I agree.
But you see their complications as a married couple. Yep. Not to mention Kumail Nanjiani, his family is trying to set him up because they're from Pakistan, trying to set him up for
and his family's
an ideal wedding, and he does not want to go out with these people. Right. But if they find out that he wants to go out with a white girl, it will be like the end of the world. And
they will disown him.
It deals with some pretty. And this is all a true story.
Yep.
And you didn't know that until the very end of the movie. Whenever it shows this is the real Emily, it's I'm okay with my family now or whatever. Yeah, so it's just. It's a really nice movie, and it ends. Actually, you know what? I have to point out that all 5 of my movies end on a magical note. The very last scene of the Big Sick, just it makes me so happy that I want to cry. I'm like oh god, I feel like a 15-year-old girl. Oh god, and it's not sad. It's just oh, it's so happy. I love it. But that movie is an incredible movie, and some would say that maybe it runs a little bit too long. But as I'm thinking about it, it's a 2-hour movie. I'm trying to think of stuff to cut out, and even the scene that you think would be a throwaway scene with him getting upset at the guy at the drive-thru, and throwing all the garbage out, he's like, I'm sorry, and he starts picking it up. I'm like, okay, that makes the scene good. Because before I'm like, what are you doing? What's this scene in the movie? Like, okay, that makes up for the scene. Yeah. So I couldn't think of anything to take out. I love this movie. No. So
what's your number 2?
My number 2,
since that was my number 3, technically.
My number 2 is Silver Linings Playbook.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you covered a lot of ground. This movie, yet again, an ending. Not even the ending, but the chase sequence on the street is... It sounds cliche, but the way that it's directed, you want nothing more in the world to see those two people end up together. You need that.
Yeah.
And I've seen where this movie gets criticized a lot for its depiction of mental health. I don't get that. I'm not making fun of these. While I'm watching the movie, I feel like they're never making fun of these characters. No. And there's several characters in the movie that deal with mental health issues. It's not just Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. His dad is OCD like crazy during these football games, man. He's like, nope, it's like the remote control's got to be right here. You can't wear that jersey. I recommend watching the alternate ending to this movie. Because
I've never seen the alternate ending.
It honestly fits the comedic tone of the movie better than the actual ending, but I think the ending that they stuck with is more crowd-pleasing and more like emotionally sweeping. Right. But I love this movie. Jennifer Lawrence definitely deserved this Oscar. Bradley Cooper got nominated, didn't win. I forgot who won that year. But Jennifer Lawrence, a lot of people say like, oh, she shouldn't have won. I think this is still her best performance, maybe like tied with Mother. Mm-hmm. We're bringing up Mother again because it needs to be brought up. Yeah, but I love this movie. This was my I think this is the last great David O. Russell movie because after this he did American Hustle, which gets more sour on my mind the more I think about it. It's not that great.
Super long.
It's long. The plot is really tedious and confusing for the longest time until it sort of comes together. Silverling's Playbook is way better, and I think it's the last great of his. Yeah, that's my number 2. What's your number 2, Josh?
My number 2 is Sing Street.
Sing Street.
Sing Street.
Okay.
Movie.
Whatever.
It's a romance movie.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Let's go with it.
I have a feeling that we have that you and I think of romance movies very differently.
Maybe. For me, I was just thinking like, for some reason in that movie, the romance is my least favorite element of that movie.
And it is
because I think it ends really goofy.
But
it ends goofy.
It's a very
It's cartoonish.
Okay, Here's the thing. It was a toss-up between this movie and La La Land. I refuse to put two musicals on this list. But I like the overall setting and plot compared to La La Land. And La La Land might be a better film, but this is our favorites. I would much rather watch Sing Street than watch La La Land.
Yeah, sure.
Set in the 80s.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah, great
soundtrack. Not just their songs, but it plays good songs by other bands, too.
Yeah. The underlying aspect though of this movie is he's trying to impress this girl with his band.
He is trying to impress her. Yeah.
So, I mean, if that's not romance, then I don't know what is.
That is, but like I said, that is my least favorite element of it. Because I think the best thing of the movie is all of them coming together and playing the music and
getting. By the way, they play them. They are musicians.
Honestly, the movie is basically like it's a fantasy movie in a sense because they get so good so quick.
Yeah,
I'm like no, trust me, I play in a band. You do not get that good that quick.
Like we talked about, the music that you hear in the film is what they hear. Not what it actually sounds.
We can go with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that adds to
till that ending is bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, why did you not cut this? Good. You got to cut this off 2 minutes before that. So that relies on the romance a little bit, and I'm like, no. It's like I kind of hope they both kind of die out here.
Get hit by this boat.
Like I hope they die because like the director deserves for these characters to die.
But overall, it's
a very good movie.
It's a very good movie.
I like it. Yeah. It's a good movie.
I think it's a romance movie. I think the whole underlying plot is that he's trying to impress her.
You could view it as a romance. So that was your number 2.
Yeah.
So my number.
Can I go ahead and say my number 1?
Yeah.
Because it's Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
That's my number 1.
You can talk about it.
I don't need to. You've covered everything.
Did you give me your opinions on it whenever we were talking?
I totally agreed with you.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
To me, I think the most like everyone else has dramatic moments, and everything has to be serious. But Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling's first outing with each other is absolutely hilarious.
It's very entertaining.
And the scene with when Emma Stone finds out that Ryan Gosling can do the move.
Oh yeah,
the move. That's two of the standout moments.
Kind of cheesy.
No, that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, it's good. Their chemistry is good.
To me, though, the weird thing about it is, to me, that movie is like amazing. Like, I could sit down and watch that movie now and still be entertained with it. But it got mixed reviews.
Really?
It's got a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not bad.
But I mean, it might not be bad, but I expected it to be
Yeah. Some people don't like it as much as we do, but
that's okay.
It's still a good little romance. But there's some correlation between your number one and my number one because they both star a couple of the same people.
You're so La La Land.
So Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, or should I just say, it's kind of the Emma Stone show. Ryan Gosling's very good in La La Land, but Emma Stone is incredible.
Well, I'm glad I didn't put La La Land on my list then.
So this is the only, spoiler alert, this is the only movie of my 5, where the two people absolutely do not end up together.
Yeah.
And it sucks so bad. Like it's
so fitting.
It's very fitting because if anything, the movie it does follow this romance with these sweeping musical numbers that a lot of people complain about. It's like, well, they're not trained dancers or singers. I'm like, that is the point. It's showing it's an original musical, and it's showing people that aren't necessarily singers, but they sound fine, and people that aren't necessarily dancers, but they dance fine. But it follows people trying to follow their dreams. Emma Stone trying to be an actor. Ryan Gosling trying to be a jazz musician, trying not to cut any corners, even though he does cut a few corners along the way by joining like a pop jazz group midway through the movie. And Emma Stone just getting so frustrated, and they come to terms that sometimes you have to sort of let each other go in order to reach your dream, because that's the most important element. And those last 7 to 8 minutes of the movie, it might be my favorite last 7 to 8 minutes of any movie ever. It's up there with Whiplash, also directed by Damien Chazelle, who was 33 years old. And he's directed Whiplash and La La Land, which I find to be two of the best pieces of directing from any movie I've seen in the past 30 years or so. But the last 7 to 8 minutes, when it shows basically their whole story and what it could have been, and just, God, it kills me. Then the last look at each other, I'm like, yeah, I think that's what it's all about right there. And also to go with the very first scene of the movie, which kind of has nothing to do with the movie.
No.
It just opens up with a musical number that's all sort of in one shot.
And the thing of it is that if you go into that film, and I always say this, and people have complained about how that first 15-minute musical number takes them out of the film. It's about 5
minutes.
Well, yeah, but when people are not liking it may feel like forever. But
I don't like what. If people say that, the movie's just not for them. I think because
when I
watch that, I watch that scene, I get a little teary eyed because I'm like this is the magic of filmmaking.
Yeah,
like this is just pure filmmaking.
It really doesn't set the tone for the rest of the movie.
It really doesn't. It just sort of shows like it's like, hey, it's like we have this and we're gonna do this. Yeah. And Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling are on that freeway.
Yeah.
It just sort of slides into them after that. It's fascinating. I think all the musical numbers, that soundtrack, I listen to that soundtrack at work every other week, and I think it's amazing.
The thing of it is to me is that, and I argue people with that, I'm like, okay, well, if you don't like that, then do you like Beauty School Dropout in Grease?
Yeah.
Because it technically has no plot line to... to John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in that movie, but
La La Land is a much superior movie to Grease. Like it.
That's not the point.
I know. I just wish people would. People are so turned off by a modern day musical, an original modern day musical that's not a remake, it's completely original, that they just don't want to watch people sing. Like I don't watch people sing. I was like, but within the context of the movie, it's fascinating. It's amazing. I love this movie. The more I think about it, I'll pull up certain scenes on YouTube, like the audition scene where Emma Stone, she'd given up, then she goes on auditions. It's just that scene with everything goes black behind her. She's just singing her heart out in that scene. Like, man, this.
Speaking of musical numbers that might take people out of movies.
What?
In my number 5.
What was your number 5 again?
Shape of Water.
Oh, yeah. I've seen where a lot of people hate that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that scene reminded me of La La Land. That's why I love that. I got swept up in that scene. I thought it ended on a very emotional note.
Hail Caesar's the same way.
That's an amazing scene, though.
I'm just saying, though.
With Channing Tatum?
With Channing Tatum.
Yeah. That's like the best scene of the movie, maybe.
I
just don't understand people, but I guess I just love cinema so much that whenever movies take that left turn, I'm usually for it.
We must really love cinema to go sit through 50
Shades Freed.
50 Shades Freed on opening night.
Which was pretty miserable. And not romantic.
I don't think it was miserable. I was.
There was a 30-minute patch where it was miserable.
But I was thoroughly entertained.
I was entertained
through.
I was entertained for 50% of it, maybe.
Through reactions
and
of my own reaction.
There was a couple spots in the movie that made me chuckle. Also, not a very romantic movie, but I think all the movies that we listed are pretty romantic, except for Sing Street. Not that romantic. No, honestly, during the movie, I do kind of care about the relationship, but it's not what I care about the most.
No, I agree. But
sort of honestly, in La La Land, I feel like
of that was.
I feel like when you're watching La La Land, you're like this is not gonna something's gonna go wrong here.
Yeah.
But I feel like they don't end like hating each other or anything.
No.
They end on decent terms. It's just it sucks to not see them together.
Yeah.
But that'll wrap up our top 5. We'll be doing next week. We got a couple of special shows in a new setting. We'll have a special guest with us. We'll be discussing MCU movies, our favorite MCU movies, and also our Black Panther review, which is a movie that we are very excited for. After 50 Shades, we need a good movie because so far we've had two movies that we don't really like that much. So
promise you, it's going to get better. It's going to get better.
I have high hopes for Black Panther.
I do as well.
I have very maybe too high of expectations.
I'm looking forward to our special at Hot Cup on Monday. I think that's going to be fun. It might be a long episode. We might have to split it up in 1 or 2 parts.
Yeah, we'll try to not keep it too long, but it sometimes just happens.
Yep.
But what are your favorite romance movies of the decade so far? We gave you about 8 or 9 right there, didn't we? Those are really good movies. Watch Sleeping with Other People. Nobody knows what it is, and it's really good. It's really sexy. It's really funny. It's so good. But let us know.
Don't watch 50 Shades Freed.
Don't watch it. Did you agree with our list? Did you not agree? Give us your top 5 favorite movies of the decade. And please subscribe, and thank you for watching.